It is possibly even more impressive if Ariana Madix was ultimately the mastermind of her own betrayal storyline and then proceeded to have all the success that we're seeing her have. It is really nice to see a woman succeed regardless of the actions of her paramour or former paramour, the way we see men gain power without ever tying any of that power or success meaningfully to who he sleeps with or slept with, and surely not on the person disloyal enough to cheat on him. But for Ariana, unfortunately, the albatross around her origin story will always be that disloyal 40-year-old actor, model, bartender that betrayed her for the ridiculous outsider, Raquel or Rachel Leviss. So for me, I think Tom Sandoval has gotten his due and then some, and I kind of hope other people feel that way as well. Tom really never made much of an impression on me, except for when he had his occasional angry outburst, always directed at a woman, and or attempted acting in the more scripted parts of the canon of the Vanderpump ethnography. And yes, generally, I find it distasteful to cheat on your girlfriend with her very best friend in the entire world. More on that in a bit. And I completely support and understand Ariana wanting to have absolutely nothing to do with Tom Sandoval anymore. But I do think the Scandoval of it all was a bit much. I mean, he's not even close to the worst boyfriend on his own show, much less the Bravo universe, much less the entertainment industry. And that's just a start. That's just the start of me justifying the bad decisions of one man for the worst decisions of another man. Anyway, I'm not advocating we celebrate Tom Sandoval or ignore his misdeeds, but I am saying I don't think he deserves a 30-year sentence of hard labor either. Alas, that's hyperbole, but so were all the reactions to him having sex with Sometime last spring, I decided to rewatch Vanderpump Rules starting at season 6. Rewatching reality TV shows is what I do when I'm sad or existentially scared, of which I was both at that time and still very much am. And when I have this feeling, I binge reality television shows and it helps me feel immensely better. And as I made my way through April, May, and June towards season 10 of Vanderpump Rules, I started getting VPR-related TikTok content. And something that came up was a woman with a heavy Southern accent slowly reciting Ariana's speech to Tom. And I just kept thinking to myself, that's a beautiful piece. That sounds like it comes from a movie. That is so perfect for the moment. And I guess after that thought, my next thought was, maybe that was planned. Then I forgot about it because hypothetically I have a life and I am not in a disturbing parasocial relationship with the entire original Vanderpump Rules cast. Not to fear though, that's not going to happen with the Vanderpump reboot because, to be honest, the trailers didn't exactly make it look awesome. I actually feel like if you want a good new Bravo show, watch McBee Dynasty, because like the first Vanderpump Rules, that show follows a legitimate tribe of people, meaning that they have history and they love each other enough to also hate each other at times. And I don't think we're going to see that with the new Vanderpump cast. But anyways, during my rewatch, when I got to the part where Raquel is asking Ariana about her and Tom's sex life, and Raquel's asserting her belief that two people in a relationship should be into each other, it occurred to me that Ariana must actively be suppressing the storyline. I mean, to me, Raquel is suffering from the status anxiety of potentially losing her spot on the show. And because of that, she potentially had sex with Tom, but also pushed that narrative so hard that on a rewatch, to me, it seems obvious she's trying to secure her spot for the next season, so for season 11. Even if it didn't play out that way, that's what I think she was trying to do. And to me, it seemed like Ariana simply decided she was going to outplay these idiots. AKA, there was no way in hell that Ariana's action was going to be the reason this trollop sleeping with her boyfriend was going to get a paycheck for season 11. Keep in mind, this scene between Ariana and Raquel came well after a lot of other suspicious things had happened. First, everyone is telling Ariana that Tom and Raquel are having sex.
This Raquel and Sandoval friendship.
The only time I've ever had a friend tell me my boyfriend was cheating was in high school, and even then I took it seriously. And newsflash, he was cheating. So why isn't Ariana taking this seriously? Why isn't she asking any questions about it? Outside of Miami Girl, which we learn later on is true, we don't see people regularly coming to Ariana saying that Tom cheats and then her dismissing it. So it's not like this is something that happens all the time that she's just ignoring. Second, at the campground table, Tom Schwartz makes a crack that the only men Raquel likes are taken men. Tom Schwartz is passive aggressive as hell and doesn't usually say stuff like that, so that comment must be loaded, and I think in hindsight it's directed and not just at Raquel. And I feel like Ariana would pick up on that too. Third, Ariana is a feminist. And fourth, Ariana is a feminist that has watched Raquel blatantly try to gain resources and status by cozying up to the men in the group. And that even includes men with exes in Ariana's friend group. And Ariana doesn't think that this kind of chick would pursue her boyfriend. Was Katie's bond with Schwartz not just as serious, if not more serious, than the bond Ariana shared with Tom Sandoval? I mean, Katie and Schwartz were married. I suppose I should point out that Katie and Raquel did not share the intimate ties of friendship at the time, and thus Raquel didn't actually owe Katie her loyalty, nor did Raquel consider Katie's support important to Raquel's embeddedness to the group or to the show. For us to believe that Ariana had no idea, we have to believe that she was unperturbed by the growing closeness and friendship between her boyfriend and a woman seemingly encouraged by the word boyfriend in the context of him being hypothetically unavailable because of the promise he has made to someone else. Brace yourself for the most obvious statement on earth, but I think it's Raquel's attitude toward other people's boyfriends that explains Raquel. Sort of felt like she lost all interest in Tom Sandoval the minute Scandoval became public. And because I don't think Ariana Madix is a dummy, I think she must have known well before she let on. And because I believe that, it is also not hard for me to think it's possible she confided to her agent or a PR person that this was happening, and that together they mapped out a timeline, a plan, a dramatic scene, like her extremely well-delivered monologue, the last time that Tom was ever going to be able to speak to her, the one that she delivered from the couch, the one that the Southerner replayed that was kind of word for word perfect. So maybe Ariana and her team, maybe they followed someone else's playbook, but they did it way better and had way more success than they could even imagine. Or maybe Ariana thought of this on her own. It was a pioneering approach, and like I believe, she deserves full credit for all the success she's had. In fact, I thought it was an interesting clip for Bravo and the editors to pull in the Vanderpump Rules Raise Your Glass to 11 Seasons thing. And the clip I'm talking about is where Ariana is complaining to Lisa that everyone is giving Tom credit for her success. That would certainly be very annoying for a feminist to hear, but I imagine equally annoying, if not more annoying words to hear for a feminist or any woman would be,
Stay the night, and I slept on the couch. I was like, dude.
For the unconvinced, do you think of Ariana Madix as Raquel Leviss's best friend? Can people be best friends without social equality? Because to me, these two did not have social equality. Do you think that Ariana felt Raquel was her social equal, that Raquel had Ariana's mutual respect? Does Ariana feel like the kind of person that would respect someone that she describes as getting all her worth from male validation? If we want to be generous, then maybe we can say that Ariana just ignored that side of Raquel because Ariana and Raquel had so many other things in common, which if they did, we don't know about. Or maybe Ariana gave Raquel a pass because Ariana was short on friends. This is also unlikely given the support she received in the aftermath of her breakup with Tom. What I'm saying is that Ariana told us all they were best friends, but Raquel denies that, and we never saw that on our TV. There's also the Dan of it all. If it was just Dan, I'd let it go because I think people act weird when they're hurt. For instance, I got a new dog right after my old dog died in an inappropriately short amount of time because I was just in so much pain about the death of my first dog. And the second dog did help. I love my second dog. So maybe Ariana did the same thing. I could get there. I could believe that. And it could very well be. But I guess in the context of everything else, I wonder if her ability to move on with Dan so quickly was because she had checked out of her relationship with Tom a long time ago. And let's remember, since Scandoval, Ariana Madix has gotten the Love Island hosting gig, has been Roxy Hart in Chicago on Broadway, has had a best-selling cocktail book, and has opened a sandwich shop. She is success. I don't find it hard to believe at all that Ariana Madix could have had identical professional success if she had genuinely been surprised that fated night to find Raquel on Tom's phone. I just don't happen to believe that that is what happened. But what do you think?